My name is Cherese Brooks. My company's called Cherese. I'm 21 years old and I sing absolutely anywhere and everywhere.
Here comes that feeling again, and it ain't right. That lonely feeling that came to me last night. It hurts to see you in my arms of my friend. Here comes that lonely, lonely feeling again. I saw you last night driving way downtown, locked in her arms, and you didn't know I'd be around. Alone in my room, I remember where you've been. Here comes that lonely, lonely feeling again.
I'm very much in love with 1950s, 40s, 60s, all through to 2000 really, but mostly the 50s era because I was brought up, my dad and mum, we had the jukebox on instead of the TV, and we listened to a lot of rock and roll, rockabilly, boppers, blues, you know, I like even a bit of jazz, to be honest.
Here comes that feeling again, and it ain't right. That lonely feeling.
It does define my identity completely because I am not the average type of young woman that likes all the hip hop, raps and all that.
Lonely feeling again. Ooh, I'm so lonely. I feel that feeling and it's hurting me. Lonely feeling. Stars in the sky, like the stars.
I started at age of 7. I didn't have that much of a love for it, I must admit, but then I grew older and older and I was experiencing different genres, and I did my grades at school and I sort of fell in love with it from there, and sort of everything's been a special moment for me, really. I've enjoyed every single step of my journey, and which has brought me to here today where I just enjoy every single part of it, really.
Realize you are the one love that I'll adore. Tell me you love me.
I love to do weddings, christenings, birthdays, anything really that anyone wants me to do, activities I will do to my best ability. And I find that I can give that sense of, I've got the charisma, I've got the banter, you know, I've got all of that I can put on stage, and I've been very lucky with the people I've worked with. My clothing defines me because it's something which makes me stand out, which makes me different from the rest, which someone can look at me and go, oh yeah, I actually quite like, I quite like that. That's different, because you get the same old, and I think to stand out is 100% the best way. And I always call myself unique, really, because with me, what you see is what you get, and I thoroughly enjoy being different, really.
moon lights up the night.
My granddad, who my dad's dad, he loved more like David Whitfield, which was more back in the day, quite far back in the day. I quite like David Whitfield. But then my dad was a teddy boy when he was younger, bless him, and he was really into his rock and roll. He had like the quiff and everything, just like me. But yeah, he's sort of passed it on. My mum's a bit more 60s, yeah, me and my brother, we take it on very well, especially from my dad. I think my dancing skills come from my dad, actually, and my singing skills, yeah, my dad. I have my old-fashioned ways and morals. I've been brought up very old-fashioned, in a sense, very strict. My mum and dad, you know, if no means no. You know, some kids nowadays can get around their parents, but no, I do have some old-fashioned morals. Some no, some yes. Being authentic is showing that you're actually providing the whole package instead of just one little bit, the songs. Because you want to go on stage and you want to have, I don't know, an England flag, or, you know, something that shows that, yeah, oh, she's doing this era. Oh, that's actually fascinating, because people don't know. You could just go on a stage and have a microphone and people won't know what clue you're singing, and they might not even like it. Whereas if they can see it from far, they'll go, yeah, oh, I'm glad she's doing that. And I think that's a very important thing as well in singing and dancing, showing your other side. So there's always two sides. There's always a side where you're singing, and there's always a side where you have your background, and your background's very important, because if you don't have a good background, it's not eye-catching, and I think eye-catching is very important.
What a lovely way to burn. What a lovely way to burn. What a lovely way to burn.
It's very, very difficult. It's very difficult, but I think you have to have an open mind and try and arrange it in a way where people will enjoy it. So don't pick the average, normal, same rock and roll songs. You have to pick things that people haven't heard of.
But if I should lose your love, dear,
I performed 2 years ago, and I sung 1,000 Stars, which is Kathy Young and the Innocents, and I got pulled over by a couple of people, and they said, I've never heard that song before. I thought you was going to sing the normal song. And I said, well, I do surprise people. And he said, yeah, actually, I must admit, I'm not a fan of that era, but I loved it. So it's a case of, depends on what scenario you're in, but mostly you can pick out a fantastic song that no one has a clue about, and you can bring it to life. But I think also the important thing is, when you're singing, that you tell a story within the song. So, you know, if the song is about love and you're just singing it, people aren't really going to enjoy it. But if you're singing it and you're passionate and you're going to give it all you got, then that, I think personally, is the most important part of singing, is telling a story.
If I should stay, I would only be in your way. So I'll go, but I know I'll think of you every step of the way. And I
find every song I sing tells a fantastic story, and actually not only tells their story, it tells my story. For instance, Whitney Houston. I've loved Whitney Houston from day one. I think she's absolutely fantastic. She's one of my idols. I idolise her so much. She's beautiful. She was beautiful, I should say. It was such a sad moment when she passed. Her song "I Will Always Love You" means a lot because I've been through some tough times when I was at school. Went through bullying, through school and college, and even through some workplaces, and now people are starting to respect me because I work very hard. But again, that brought me through some really tough times, through when my mum was ill and my dad was ill, and I just had my brother. I don't have a lot of family members because a lot of them don't want to know me, but that song brought me through a lot, and I will always love Whitney Houston. Bullying is very strong word to use. People use bullying as a way of hiding up, or the bully is always the one that always has the problems. And I didn't really have many people at school. I was quite alone. I done my own thing. I used to spend a lot of the time at school in the hall practicing my singing and dancing because I knew I was having trouble at school, but I knew for a fact that when I sung, especially when I danced, I could put all that effort of that bullying that was built up emotion inside of me, and I could express that into my dancing and singing. I've struggled through many years of, as I said, from the bullying, and it taught me quite a big lesson, and that was to not listen to people and to make your own mind up, because you're the one that's in control of your destiny. And I knew for a fact at the start, yes, they were controlling me and they were telling me what to do. And I had some bad times at school. I think with a lot of people, when you grow up, your mind changes and your outlook on life is completely changed. I said to myself, I want to become an actress. And I said to myself at school, I said, yep, that's what I want to be. That's what I want to do. That's exactly my goal. And I knew for a fact that acting wasn't as much of an importance as singing and dancing was to me. Because yes, you can, when you're an actress, you can play a different role. You can be a different person. You can get a feeling of what their life is. But there's nothing better than expressing your own point across to other people, and it's showing them the struggles, the heartache, or the happiness that you've been through. And I stopped primarily for being an actress, because I just knew that singing and dancing, I started off at such a young age, at the age of 2, and I just knew that was my goal. That was what I was meant to do, really. Singing was a hobby at the start, and then after about 3 singing lessons I had, I came back home and I said to my mum and dad, I sat down with them. They asked me about my singing. How's it all going, and are you enjoying it? Is it worth the money? And I said, I love it. It's amazing. It's perfect. I thought I'd never be able to do it, and I'm doing it as my life, and I thoroughly enjoy it, and I couldn't explain or express any more to how much it's really got a hold of me.
One of these days, these boots are gonna walk all over you.
She'll do it in a minute, it's going on Facebook. You keep playing where you shouldn't have been playing, and you keep thinking that you'll never get burned. I just found me a brand new box of matches, yeah. And what he knows, you ain't had time to learn. These boots are made for walking, and that's just what they'll do. One of these days, these boots are gonna walk all over you.
I might have this style and this quirky side to me and a bit of banter to get the crowd going and enjoy self. That side, when I get the crowd going, is still me. I'm the one that's showing people a story, giving them a meaning to every song and letting them try to understand what the lyrics mean. Because yes, you might have the music is important, but the lyrics are the most vital thing about singing. You have to understand what you're singing. You don't just sing. There's a lot of people out there that just sing for the sake of it. But you have to understand these lyrics. Lyrics are very important, and to me they mean a lot. I only sing songs that mean something, or I've been through myself, or I can read a story behind it.
And I will always love you, and I will always.
I do fight to the end, and I have come out a winner, to be honest, personally, because I have such a passion for every single artist that sings that song, and I think they must have been through something for them to write those lyrics, and I think that's a very important thing.
I will always love you, and I will always love you. My darling, I love you. I'll always love you. Here comes that feeling again, and it ain't right. That lonely feeling that came to me last night. It hurts to see you in my arms of my friend. Here comes that lonely feeling